Hi everyone and welcome to episode 16 of the At the Window podcast. I'm your host Claire and I'm coming to you today from a pretty autumnal feeling Berkshire day in the south of England. I'm your host Claire, I think I said that. You can find me on Instagram as Claire M Gallagher or Ravelry as C Gallagher 21, and both those links will be in the down bar. I do have a blog as well, but it's a bit defunct, and a Ravelry group which I keep telling myself every time to actually go and do something with, so maybe this will be the week that I do that. So I've actually been really organised today and written out a little list of everything that I want to talk to you guys about. This is my new knitting notebook which I've decided to write because I felt like it. I'm really into lists at the moment. I'm organising myself because it's the only way I can at the moment with lists. And I thought, why not do the same for my knitting? Because it's kind of, I've got a lot of things on the go mentally, even though I've not started some of them yet. And I just want to churn out a bunch of stuff before Christmas and after Christmas. So hopefully this will give me some focus. So anyway, I do have some tea here, which is momentous because I am not a tea drinker. I have found some tea that I like, but I've run out of it. So I'm trying this other one, which is from the same brand. When I went to Paris, they had this in the hotel, and I really liked and I sold a few packets because, that is a big red Royal Mail van that just went past. Oh, and if you hear any background noise, we're having some work done on the roof of the building. It's gonna come back now. This is the President's Elva living. We're on the access road to the block of flats. Yes, it's a listed building that I live in and the roof needs some work doing to it. So they've been putting scaffolding up all day. So actually I haven't put any up outside these two windows. They're doing it on the other side of the building, which is quite good because I need all the light I can get in this little flat. So if you do hear any banging, any screwing, any workmen shouting, I've had that all morning. Yes, I'm also going to try and do this really quickly because it's 3:30 already and this light is going to go very soon. So tea, yes, I stole this from, I didn't steal it, I took it from the hotel that I stayed in Paris. This is the jasmine one though, so not as nice as the green tea with cherry blossom, but it will do. This mug I also made at like a local ceramic cafe type thing where you paint your own pottery, and it was supposed to look like little knit stitches. So there we go. Anyway, let's jump straight into whips. So I haven't got much on the needles at the moment because I'm really trying to churn through some mammoth socks for my dad for Christmas. So this is a bag. My mum made me this little foxy thing and someone got me this, one of the crochet girls got me this for my birthday. Yeah, my dad has always said he doesn't like handmade socks. They're too thick, they're too bulky. And then he's been down his allotment a lot recently and he's been getting cold feet. We think he might have a circulation problem, but that's besides the point. But he asked for some socks anyway, so I'm making him some socks. I'm doing them simultaneously, concurrently people like to say, but on 2 sets of needles. So here we go. This yarn is some that I've had sitting around for ages. It doesn't want to be anything. I think I spoke about it last time that I was knitting it into a shawl, but I can't remember the name of it. If I'm really clever and remember this, I might put it on the screen here. If not, just go back and watch the other podcast where I talked about it. I didn't like it, I ripped it out, and I thought it would make some really nice socks, and it is making really nice socks. So this is the Fibre Space Scrumptious 4-ply or Sport yarn. I think this is just the grey colourway. It's a really nice yarn. It's just, I think I don't like it. I would not choose to wear it, and therefore I hate everything I make with it. I don't know why I bought it. I think it was that top that I ripped out and whatever, but they're turning out to be some really nice socks. So my dad has ridiculously big feet. He's got size 10.5 feet, and these are going to be long. I don't know what this postman is doing. He is wandering backwards and forwards like he can't find a flat. I'm doing a very gentle rib on the sock. It's like 3x1 on the top and then blank on the bottom for the foot, toe up, and I'm almost up to the heel, and I'll do a short row heel or a fish lips kiss heel, and then work the leg as long as I can be bothered. And I'm telling myself, because I'm getting that thing where, because I'm making stuff for other people a lot at the moment, and not even just knitting stuff, just that general kind of like busyness in the run up to Christmas. I just want to cast on all the things for myself and not make things on my list that I need to be making for other people. So yeah, I'm getting a bit of like selfish knititis or something. It's fine, it will all get done and I'll get some stuff for myself, but I'm telling myself I have to get to the heel and do both the heels on these socks before I cast on a project for myself. So yeah, I'm knitting these on 2.25 ChiaoGoo red lace needles. If you can hear something, my kitten Frida is digging around in something she probably shouldn't be in. You might see her in a minute, she's trying to climb up on there. There you go. There's a little munchkin. You gonna come say hello, Frida? Do you want to come up here and say hello to the podcast? Come on, they like your little face. Maybe we should come over. Anyway, 2.25 red lace ChiaoGoos, love them, all-time sock needles. And also because these are my favourite sock needles, I can't cast on any other socks at the moment because these are both in use, which is quite good. So yeah, that's where I am. I'm almost at the heel on both. I've got to do a few more rows on one of them, but I can't remember which one. I'll check. And yeah, that should be for my dad for Christmas. I've also found this has come really useful. This is a sock ruler that I've bought at Unravel, I think this year. Yes, I think I spoke about it on here as well. Yeah, it's quite useful. I do think these are a bit over long. Too big. Because I'm a size 9, I know, in women's shoes, and it says to do them massive, and my feet do not need them that big. Frida, what are you whining about? Come and say hello to the podcast. Come on. My whiny cat. You gonna come up here? Come on. I mean, I'd prefer you didn't scratch my sofa. Come on. You wanna come say hello to these guys? Here she is again. She's going in, oh, don't put your mouth on that. She's going in to be neutered this week and I'm all sad about it. Do you not want to come sit here? Sit here with me. Be all cosy. There you go. There's a little gap there you can sit down. Want to sit there? Weird cat. She wants to climb up on that thing over there and I don't like her climbing on it. So I bought this at Unravel and it's come right quite useful, but I do think they're a bit conservative, these estimates, because my foot does not need that, even though I have got quite large feet. So yeah. What are you doing? So that's socks for my dad, and those are gonna come on quite well, hopefully. Then the only other whip is sort of a thing that I just wanted to knit because I was watching a podcast and someone was making these. Who was it? Maybe it was Bakery Bears, Kay from the Bakery Bears. I don't know. Someone was making them. They're the Simple House Slippers, I think they're called. I can't remember who they're by. It's a really common pattern on Ravelry. You can just search it, house slippers, and it comes up. I'm knitting this out some of the yarn that I had left over from that baby blanket I knit for my friend. I thought these might be a nice gift for people for Christmas, like to some girlfriends. So I've just knit one of those. The yarn is Starcraft double knit, so it's an acrylic, but yeah, they're quite nice. And I quite like the grey and yellow. I thought that was quite cool. And yeah, this took me so quick to make. I don't even know how long. I think I watched a programme on the TV and whilst I was doing it, and then I've just got to tie the sew the ends in at the top or kitchen or whatever it says to do, and yep, that's done, and then sew it up and then just do another one. So hopefully I can bust out a few pairs of those because I thought it might be quite nice for some of my girly friends just to give to them as like a little something. So that's really all I've got on my needles. I also thought I might show you my crochet granny stripe blanket because I didn't show you it last time and it might motivate me to do some on it as well. I might take this to the next crochet night because this is actual crochet. There may be some rustling involved in this because I've got a bag in there. And I don't know when the last time I showed you it was. I don't know how much, I don't even know if there's only been any additions on it. But I thought it would just familiarise myself with it. And Frida's going for a pee now, sorry. Small flat, guys. I thought this would make me want to knit on it a bit more. Because I did really like this, but I got a bit bored with using the same colours because I'm not one of those knitters that has 1,000 mini skeins that I can knit to crochet into this. I don't have like an unending amount of just yarn that I can use for it. So what I tend to do is reuse the same kind of colours because a lot of the colours I use are variegated ones. But I was getting to a point where I felt like I was repeating a few, so I kind of put it down for a bit. But yeah, I do really like this, so maybe I'll do a bit more on this week because I've got quite a few little ends and odds and ends now to use up. So hopefully that'll do. Let's get some done on that. I think the last one, no, I don't know if I would have shown you this. I know I've put some of the end of the Ziggy Stardust one that I'm having my Pure Joy shawl, which I showed you guys last week, which I realised I did show you on the podcast before, so sorry about that. So I think that was the last one I've put in, and then just like a opal blue one. But yeah, I do really love this, so I just need to make myself work on it a bit with some the new colours I've got. That's it held double. So yeah, I never knew it was never going to be a quick knit. It was going to be one that did take a long time, but now I keep seeing people's like really big ones on like Ravelry or Instagram, and it's just making me want to like have it done. Frida? That was a very strange noise. You alright? Was that you making a little sneezy noise? You weirdo cat. Yes, so hopefully I might do some on that anyway. No promises. That might be a next crochet night project. So that's really all I've got on my needles. Yeah, let's move on to some finished objects. I finished, oh, and if you are any of my friends, you need to look away now. So I don't think any of my friends watch my podcast, but if I know you in real life and I might make you Christmas presents, please stop watching or you'll ruin your Christmas present. Thank you. Right, so these are my friend KK's socks for Christmas. So I'm quite glad I finished these. These are out of some opal yarn. There they are. These match really well, can I point out. I kind of thought, oh, I'll kind of wind off a little bit so they're about similar. But yeah, she has tiniest feet in the world. Look at these tiny feet. They're like the same size as my hands. She's got children's feet. So they're done and I'm really pleased with that. They were actually really quick to do. I think I did a 30 stitch count foot because that's the size feet she's got, and then did the heel. I did the short row heel and then just knit the leg, and then I did 20 rows of twisted rib, which is my favourite now. And yeah, I'm quite pleased with those. I'm going to take a picture of those just for my Ravelry, and then they'll go away in a little thing for have Christmas. And I've got a few other bits and pieces, so that's kind of her sorted for Christmas, and it's November the 10th, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Yes, it's opal yarn. It's one with like a toucan on. I don't know what I did collect up all my yarn ball bands and put them in a little folder to kind of do something with, and maybe start like keeping them in here, but I have not done that. So yeah, Christmas socks for KK, they're done. Whilst we're on the subject of socks, they're not finished objects, but two half finished objects. I have finished one of my lovely Clark socks, and these weren't done in time for Halloween, but they'll be around for next Halloween. Really love these, and this is what I really want. I just want to do the other one. I really just want to cast the other one on and finish it, because this yarn is so lovely, and it's so squishy and so just like a delight to work with. It's the undercover otter sock yarn on the Squirm sock base in Hacko Lantern, that's it. And it was bought at, and you can buy it at the Stephen and Penelope store or online in Amsterdam. So the Clark Socks is a pattern by Jacqueline Salem or Brooklyn Knit Folk. He's a friend of mine on Instagram, and it's got this lovely little cable detail at the back, this beautiful braid on the front, and yes. The only two things I didn't do was, just because personal preference, I don't like the way it looks on some socks. There's often sometimes people do like a pearl band like before the pattern starts, and I just personally don't like that, so I just omitted that. But yeah, lovely socks, amazing yarn, so I'm really trying hard not to cast that one on. The next one on, so there we go, and this is in my little hipster bag my mum made me, because it's got like hipstery stains all over it. And yeah, I thought that was appropriate because Jacqueline ran the Brooklyn Knit Folk Hipster Cow. In my little Halloweeny bag, because I was working on this just before Halloween, I finished this sock. Guys, this has been on my needles. I looked on my Ravelry page. This has been on my needles since, I don't know what my cat is doing. Been on my needles since March. That is really shocking. I think that's the longest a sock has ever taken me. But I really like it. The reason I stopped is I thought it didn't fit me for some reason, and it's a little snug. It's maybe a little more snug than I would like my socks, but it definitely fits me. So I was just like, well, I'm not going to knit it now because it's not going to fit me. So I picked them back up and I was like, I'll finish them and I'll just give them to someone else if they don't fit me. And then I tried them on and done, fits. So this is the Twiller sock by Rachel Coopy, or Coop Socks, yeah, Coop Knits, yeah. So she does the yarn as well. So this is not in her yarn, this is in some Drops Fable colours. Just these three that were on offer at one point on Ravelry and were super cheap because I thought I would give it a go. So that's those. And yeah, I'm really pleased I finished this. So I actually kind of want to get on and cast the next one on. But again, waiting till I've done some other things for people. But I am so immensely pleased that I've actually got this done, because March, that's shocking. That's really shocking. Yes, so the next finished object is something you won't have even seen. So I showed you on the last podcast the hand spun yarn that I made. I was very floral, that tea. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. I'm gonna keep trying it. Keep trying the tea. Back to the knit mittens. I showed you the yarn that I'd made with it, and I was just finished KK's Christmas socks, and I was starting on my dad's, and I was just like, I need to do something for myself. I caked up some yarn for a shawl, which I'll show you in a minute, and I was like, I can't cast on the shawl because that will be, I really love the yarn and I know I'm gonna love the project that I make with it. So I was like, right, I need to do something really quick, and it's like this very like instant like gratification to get this out of my system. So I wanted to make some mittens with this hand spun yarn anyway, and I was like, screw it, just cast it on, Claire. And I'd done these. So one evening I did one and cast on the next one, and then the next morning I just finished off the other one. So I'm knitting like a demon while I've been off, so it's really good actually. So yes, these are my very ugly but very cozy and quite pretty at the same time hand spun mitts. So yes, I'm looking at them knit up makes me realise how bad I am at spinning yarn, but for a first go I just don't care. I think they're pretty. So I got this fibre at the Knitting and Stitching show in Ali Pali, and it was from Spin City, and I don't know what it was called, I didn't ask the name, and it's got these beautiful colours in it, and I spun it up, and then I did the wraps per inch thing, and it said it was about a double knit weight, but in some places it's clearly much thicker than that, and in some places it's literally like lace weight, because I'm not there with those skills yet. But I just thought I think I did these on a 4.5 or a 5mm needle, and just thought I'll just go for it. I'll just cast them on, and even if I just wear them when I'm driving or when it's cold outside, at least I've got the use out of them. So I kind of half use a pattern. I use a pattern for the thumbs basically. I just cast on, oh, how many stitches did I cast on? 40 maybe? Yeah, joined it around, knit into the thumb, and then I used, I think there's a pattern on Ravelry which is just like quick hand spun mittens or something, and I used the thumb out of that, which is a bit of a weird thumb when you actually see them off. It's a kind of like, it sticks out a bit weird, a bit like a teapot. That's what I was calling it. But actually when they're on, they fit really nicely. So they're not the neatest, I'll be honest, but it wasn't about that. It was more just like I needed something for myself. Yeah, they've got these beautiful, this one's got it more in stellinery fibre in. I like the bits where it's a bit like two-tone. And yeah, I really like these. I love this colour here. I don't know if you can see this. Also jack my nails, I'll show you those in a minute. This kind of dusky purpley pink. I love this colour. And I'm not really that kind of colour person. So yeah, I'm thinking about making something with that. So yeah, cozy. They're going to be my winter driving mittens, I think. Because I get a bit where I normally wear my nice Fair Hour ones, which you might have seen, the ones that Fair Hour ones that I knit out of Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift. But I think they're getting a bit tired now, so I don't want them to get tired. That's no point. They're getting a bit pilly. So these might overtake those for the winter. So that's those, and then I just thought I'd show you quickly. I know I showed you it last week, but I have blocked my aunt's shawl, the Oaklet shawl, and I just thought I'd show you how it came out because I think this is so pretty, and I feel very pleased because I post these pictures on Instagram, and it's out of Fibre Spates yarn, and then Fibre Spates regrammed it, and I was like, oh, I'm like Insta famous. Yeah, so this is the Oaklet shawl by, I think it's Megan Goodacre. I'm pretty sure that's right because I remember tagging her in the Instagram post, and she's Trixie Knitter, I think, on Instagram. So it blocked out beautifully. I didn't block the ends very well because I kind of ran out of space on my yarn mat, but down here is really nice, and yeah, it's really, really lovely. It's got a lovely drape to it, and I thought she's really tiny, my great aunt. She's like a fraction of me, so I think it will go around her shoulders really nicely, and she can have it on her sofa, or she could wear it like as a scarfy type thing when she's out and about. So that is going to get posted off. She really likes cats as well. She used to have these two little cats when I knew her growing up, and you want to send her a picture of Frida, so I need to print out a little picture of Frida and then send it off. On cue, you say you'll look at her. I took this picture of her sat up here the other day and put it on Instagram, and a lot of people liked it, and I felt very pleased. So anyway, the Oaklet shawl out of Fibre Spates 4-ply fingering. It's the sock yarny type one, and the colour is Crocus. So that's going off, and I feel very pleased with that. I would highly recommend this shawl for like a beginner or anything. I think I spoke about that last time. Yes, I did, so I won't go into too much detail. Yeah, so that's that one. That's it. That's everything. So that's my finished objects and works in progress. So I know I've done that quite quickly, but I don't really have an awful lot at the moment. So I thought I would talk about some new additions and sort of like future plans. So I went to London last Friday. Yeah, last Friday. Me and my friend had tickets to see John Richardson, who's a comedian over here. You might have seen him on like 8 out of 10 Cats or 8 out of 10 Cats as Countdown and things like that. So we had to see him, and he was alright. I think he's better edited because he was quite funny, but then he kept like messing up, and I was a bit like, this is boring. And he kept like having to stumble over his words and repeat himself. So I don't know, he was quite funny though. So anyway, I was in London, and I thought, because I'm off, I might as well go up a bit earlier and make the most of it. So I went to Loop, and I bought myself some sock blockers, which are a Christmas present which my mum is going to give me, so they're kind of hidden away at home. So I got myself those, and I had a suck a really nice flip around loop, and it is really lovely loop. I do think though that they have a lot of imported yarn from America, which is fantastic because they have stuff like Brooklyn Tweed and like Quince & Co and lots of stuff that you can't, it's quite hard to get over here. They've got a great selection of Madeline Tosh, which is not the easiest to find in the UK, but they had some brands which I wanted to look at, like the one that I remember is the Plucky Knitter, is it Undercover, what's the Tough Sock Yarn, that one, and a couple of others, and from feeling them they feel like just like the same bases as other ones, so I think like ones in the UK you can buy. So I remember the Tough Sock Yarn is exactly the same as the, oh, I've got this balancing on a little contraption. That sock yarn is exactly the same as the Triskelion. It's exactly the same base as this red Triskelion one, which I've knit my Pure Joy shawl out of, and I've knit other things out of. So if you're interested in that, the base is exactly the same. And I think Triskelion do really lovely things, and it's a bit easy to get hold of in the UK. And I can't remember the other one, but I remember thinking that base is exactly the same as Whimsy's yarn, who I absolutely love. I love Ling. I love all of her colourways that she's done, and again, I kind of just, I think it's great to support every kind of yarn business, but if I can support British people and British small yarn indie dyers, I'll do that first. So, sorry, that sounds a bit nationalistic, but I thought if you're also finding it hard to get hold of them, maybe have a look at some like lesser known brands over here in the UK, because they might have the same base. Just a point. So anyway, whilst I was there, I got some sock blockers, the Bryson, the like metal outline ones. So they've gone away for me for Christmas, because my mum doesn't really know what to get me. Frida, come here. So I'm not paying attention to her. And then I also bought some of this yarn, which, oh, it's coming a bit purple on the camera, it's more grey, and this is very aptly named Kitten, which kind of drew me to it as well, because obviously my little kitten is grey and I was looking for a grey anyway. So this is Madeline Tosh Kitten. My skeiner is not great, but I bought this and it's caked up, ready to go. Oh, there you are. How about you come and sit here with Mama? Yeah, do you want to sit here? Have a little sit down? I don't want you jumping up there because I know you're gonna ruin the camera. Oh, be careful. Sit up there, go on. She likes to sit and look out. I might get no light now though. Yes, so I was looking for some grey yarn, and then I pulled out this Madeline Tosh skein and I was like, that's definitely to be. So I've caked up this and my beautiful La Bien-Aimée. What can you see, Frida? She's very intrigued by something. La Bien-Aimée Driftwood Graffiti yarn, and these are going to be a 2-colour shawl. What yet? I'm not 100%. There was one in the latest edition of, well, Frida just knocked that off, and I think she may do it again, so let's wait for that. Do you want to come and sit here, darling? Come and sit on your little rug. Such an annoying cat. Anyway, so I'm going to knit a 2-colour shawl out of it. There's one in the latest issue of Pom Pom, and I have written it down here what I want. The Ephemeris shawl, which I might show you in a minute because I'm going to show you the Pom Pom magazine. Yeah, and there's a couple of others that I've written down that I might do. Mostly like 2-colour shawls from like singles or hand-dyed yarn. Okay, be careful coming down, Frida. So I thought those two would go really nicely together, and I feel like it's a bit like meant to be because this is called Kitten. So that was from Loop, and that's what I'm going to cast on when I've done my dad's socks. So that's that. I feel like the light is really going now. It doesn't look so bad outside, but I can tell the camera's getting darker, so I'll try and speed up a bit. The other thing I got was, let me just consult this. Yes, was I went to London with the intention of getting some like a Christmas Eve cast on yarn basically because I didn't get any when I was at the Knit and Stitch this year, or I haven't had any like squirreled away, and I just wanted like a really nice skein of hand-dyed yarn that I can cast on at Christmas. It doesn't have to be Christmas themed, I just wanted something really nice. And I looked at a lot online, a lot of people that people are talking about at the moment, like London House Yarns and all these lovely colours. And then I found this lovely one on Etsy, and the shipping on this was amazing, by the way. I literally ordered it one day and it was there the next day, and it was really good price, and again supporting like indie dyers in the UK. This is from the Yarn Lab, which is the Yarn Lab at etsy.com. And this colourway, which I wasn't looking for something Christmassy, but this is kind of Christmassy. This is Frida, the Slug Club Christmas Party colourway. It's 100 grams, 425 meters, and it's a 75/25 superwash merino nylon. Frida! Yeah, and it's these beautiful colours, as you can see. It's got these lovely stripes of goldy orange in, and then these green and grey. So I thought this is really, really nice. And that's going to be my little Christmas Eve cast on. And yeah, because I figure that's going to come around super quickly and I'll forget about it. It's a really nice base actually. Don't know what it is, but it feels nice. So that was from the Yarn Lab, and she also sent me this little packet with a cute little charm in and some tea, which I will try on my quest to like tea. And it also came with some little sweets, but they are long gone. So I can't remember how much this was, but it was very reasonably priced. I want to say it was about £16, £17, which for a hand-dyed skein of yarn, pretty good. And yeah, highly recommend. Go and check her out. She's got some really nice colourways in her shop, and I'm pretty sure she's the Yarn Lab UK on Instagram too. So that's that one. You doing alright, Frida? Frida Bear? And then the next one I've got is, I might just rustle this for a minute. I bought some yarn here. This is from John Lewis, which I just got this today, and I'm gonna make my friend Amy, who's just had a little baby, a little shawl, like a nursing shawl for Christmas. Because I saw her yesterday, and she was just saying like how she's got used to like putting her top around her and stuff while she nurses the baby. But I thought it might be nice to make her like a nice little cozy shawl for just like, so she feels a bit more like covered up maybe, and give her for Christmas basically. So this is the Bergère de France Ideal, which is a double knit, and this colourway is really pretty. This is French, man. Vanieri, that one. It's kind of like a light beige, which almost looks kind of pinky in some lights as well. And the shawl that I'm going to knit is the, again, French, Passe Partout on Ravelry. It's a free pattern by someone called Manel. So yeah, I think I've got enough there. I've got a bit extra, I think, so it should be enough. I've got 5 skeins. And again, very reasonably priced. This has got some acrylic in, but I thought with babies, it's kind of better to have something you can wash. So it's a 40% worsted wool, 30% acrylic, and 30% polyamide. So yeah. The knitter's favourite, apparently this is. So there we go, Bergère de France. And John Lewis, I have to say, I feel like you're going to knock this off again. That might be cast on this afternoon, because that's Christmas, so I can cast that on easy. Yes. John Lewis are getting better, that's what I was saying. John Lewis are getting much better at the kind of yarn that they stock, and I think that's great because that is where it's really accessible place to get yarn from, and it's kind of like a good way to introduce. Who was I talking about this? I was watching this on someone's podcast, and they were talking about like generations of knitters and how, it was Skein Knits, that was it. And she was saying there's people that like the older generation, and then like what we're doing as like younger knitters, and how the two kind of don't really meet ever. And I think like places like John Lewis in the UK are actually great places for that, and kind of can introduce some of the newer yarn brands and newer techniques and stuff to those older generations, and vice versa. So they've started selling in my local yarn shop, my local John Lewis is a lot of West Yorkshire spinners, which is fantastic. I've seen it online, but they don't sell it in my store, is Bar & Mew as well. And I'm seeing less and less of like the novelty yarns, which are just, I know they still have a lot of baby stuff and that's great, but then they're doing a lot of like a lot of that Erica Knight for John Lewis as well, which is really nice, which is kind of just plain really nice quality yarns. So it's good, it's getting better, I think, because John Lewis is the place that I've always gone for yarn. It's where my mum has always used to go, and yeah, it's good. So I'm glad they're getting a bit better. So that's those things. And then I was going to show you guys the latest issue of Pom Pom, which came in the post this week, in case if you don't want to know what it looks like, because I quite like it being a surprise. Frida, off the counter. Don't play with this, go on. This is it, the Vivid Winter, and there's so many things in here that I want to knit. So I'll just show you some of the pictures. So the Ephemeris shawl is what I was thinking about knitting from this yarn, but I was worried they might be too close in colour, but actually there's quite a bit of contrast in them. And that's this shawl here. And this is by Deborah Gerhard, and it's out of Hedgehog Fibres sock yarn. So there's that one. Frida! I'm definitely going to knit this. This is on my list to knit at some point, this Selenite sweater by Astrid Troland. Oh my god, Frida. And then there's also, she's on the kitchen counter. She really shouldn't be there. Sorry. Get off, come out. Naughty cat. And I think there's another one as well. This was it, the one that's on the front, the Tabula sweater, which is absolutely beautiful. And that's by Maja Muller? Maja? I don't know, that one. But it's beautiful, it's really beautiful. And that's the one on the front cover as well. And I love this design. So yeah, really feeling that this week, this season. Pom Pom, lovely. I also think you've changed the paper inside a bit, which I really like, because I have this weird thing where rough textures make me feel sick. So I'm liking the change of paper is what I'm going to say. I'm a bit weird. And that's kind of all knitting-y content. There's a few other bits that I wanted to show you guys, just because I thought you guys might like them. And the first one of those is a book, which I have been obsessed with since I got it. And this was a bit of a luxury purchase. It's not something that I needed, and it was just kind of like, I want this, so I'm going to get it because I'm feeling a bit sorry for myself recently. And it's been such a lovely read, particularly like in the mornings like where I've been off, just like sitting in bed with my breakfast and Frida, maybe some knitting or a coffee, and just having a read of a few chapters of this. And this is the Christmas Chronicles by Nigel Slater. Nigel Slater, if you don't know, is a chef over here in the UK. He's written quite a few books, and his recipes are always lovely, and I do make a lot of his food. Oh, he's got loads of books, and I think something's been made into a stage production as well, but I'm not really sure. But anyway, this is like his Christmas book, and it's done by like days, for example. So it's like starts in November and goes all the way through to I think the end of February, and it's like I don't know what Frida's doing. So it says here, like, the 1st of November, a taste of the winter solstice, and it says like some drinks that you can start getting ready, and it's like the lead up to Christmas basically. So it's I don't know if this is a thing anywhere else in the world, so please let me know if it is. Stir Up Sunday is a thing, which is the first Sunday before Advent, which is when you traditionally make your Christmas cakes or Christmas puddings. And it kind of talks about that in here and the history of it. So that's where I'm up to at the moment. And I just really like how it's structured, and the way he writes is really lovely, and it's all like if I could have written this, I would have, you know. That's kind of thing that I like. And I'm kind of reading it, treating it as like a adult advent calendar almost, and it's really nice. And it kind of gives you recipes for like the leftovers after Christmas, like for entertaining, kind of like variations on things as well. And it's not all just like really stodgy like casseroles and things. There's a lot of like winter salads and stuff in there as well, which I think is really nice. And just like Christmas traditions of his family and just like ones from around the world. So I think if you like, if any of that sounds appealing for you, or even just some really nice prose about Christmas, I would highly recommend this. And also it looks really pretty. It's got this beautiful front cover. So it's called The Christmas Chronicles. And there you go. And it retails for quite a lot, but on Amazon it was quite cheap. I don't know, you should buy books on Amazon, but it was a tenner on Amazon, so that's why it's a little treat for myself. So yeah, that's that one. And then just two other things. I went to university in Farnham, which is where the Unravel Festival is held, and at the same place where they hold Unravel, if you know about it, it's like a yarn festival. They have a monthly market the first Saturday of every month, and like local, like any kind of vendor can go there and like have a stand and sell their things. So it's a kind of a mixture of like vintage things and like car boot saley type stuff, and then like jewelry traders and like craft stores and all sorts of things. Like, so there's some local yarn there as well, and people that make like cakes at home and things like that can go there and sell them. So there were two things that I bought, which I just thought you guys might like, because I've seen had a few comments on one of them on Instagram. So this one is a lovely salt candle, which I've wanted for ages. She's like scratching under my rug, so I'm sorry for the noise. And this looks absolutely lovely, lit up. It's got a little candle at the moment. It's beautiful. It looks like rose quartz and I absolutely love it. So that's been sitting on my side. And I got this for £5. So I thought that was a bargain. I thought you guys might like to see it. And then this other thing, which is something I've wanted for ages, is this like mini like printer's like letterpress tray. I kind of really want a big one of these and to fill it with like little things, but I haven't really got the space in here. So I saw this little one for £8, and I'm gonna start filling it with like little trinkets and little like bits of fabric I find and all sorts of nice things. And yes, I thought this was really lovely, and I just love how this is made as well. Can you see how like well made this is? That's really nice. Yeah, and this would have had like typesetting type things in it once, so that's why it's got like the alphabet along the top. And I just thought you guys might like to see that, basically. Yes, so I was going to tell you some sewing things, but the light is really starting to go now, and I might save that for next time. So yes, in terms of just a few like wrapping up chatty bits, I am still off work at the moment, so that's why you've had another podcast like relatively soon, and I've knit quite a lot as well. So don't expect the next one to be anytime soon. I'm feeling much better. I feel much better in myself. I've had some good news recently as well, so that makes me feel better. And yeah, I've been baking a lot, spending a lot of time with family and friends, and just kind of like doing things for myself and making myself feel better again, so that's quite nice. And I've had so many like nice comments on Instagram, just like whenever I mention something, just like I'm having a bad day or something, like so many nice comments saying like just nice things, and that's really nice to hear. So yes, I think that's everything. Hopefully with my like organised life you will see me again very soon, and yes, I think that's very much everything, and I'm just rambling now. The light has gone, my tea's probably overstewed. I'm gonna sign off. Sorry about all the noise from the little cat in the background. She's cute, so hopefully that makes up for it. And oh, and if you ever want to go and look at more pictures of it, by the way, she has her own Instagram, which I'll link below. It's _Frida Catlow. And yeah, I will speak to you guys before Christmas. I'm making myself that bet, deal, challenge, task, promise, I don't know what it is. I will speak to you guys before Christmas. There will be another podcast before Christmas. I would like to hope to, but meh. So I hope you have a nice evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time of day it is wherever you are. Thank you for watching all the way through. Thank you for coming back if you're a returning viewer, and if you've watched this far and a new viewer, well done. Thank you very much. And yes, I will speak to you all very soon. Bye.